Alright, hello and welcome everyone to the dojo guide on the mechanics behind the encounter surveillance system. So I'm going to start by talking about the in-game mechanics of this wonderful device, and then after that I'll go over some of the math of why you should actually use one. So any ship that has at least 200 meters of cargo can anchor an ESS, which is basically all of them. And there are a couple of techniques that people typically use to anchor them, one of which is spawning them inside of a haven, which is what I would recommend if you are riding in a group with other players. However, if you're on your own and you're willing to accept a little bit of risk, or if you have an alt to babysit it, as I do, then you are totally free to put it just in front of a planet, because it needs to be far enough from any celestial infrastructure. The next level of the haven placement is to kill triggers in a site, and then anything that warps in is going to have to deal with a Hellspawn anomaly, which is basically impossible for any ship that could reasonably steal, and if they come in a pod that won't be fired upon by the rats, then that'll be very, very easy for you to mop up yourself. Anyway, when you first anchor one of these, you will bubble yourself, but stay calm. For the next 2 minutes, this bubble doesn't actually work until it turns orange. It's nothing to worry about. And you can see it's on my overview. I'm on grid with it right now, but it will be on your overview from anywhere in system. Strangely enough, it starts capturing bounties before it is done activating, so don't expect that you've got a grace period before you start getting bounties. You do still get LP from it, and it's still captured. You just can't share it out in this time, nor can you scoop it back to your cargo bay. So before you get caught in the bubble, just warp back off.
Warp drive active.
Do note that this bubble shares every mechanic with mobile warp disruptors. It can function as a drag bubble, and it tackles with infinite strength. It's 15 kilometers in diameter. Sorry, radius. So we'll be back when it's done activating, and I will show you how to access it. Alright, so we're back now. The ESS has been activated. And as I mentioned earlier, this bubble has every mechanic in common with warp disruptors, so no matter what distance you attempt to warp to it at, it will drag you into its radius, and you can see it does shout to the entire system that you are now in proximity of the encounter surveillance system. So if you're blue, that's probably nothing to worry about, as everyone's expecting you to eventually enter the bubble, and if you're red, then hands off of our money. So once it's finished anchoring, there will be a new option for access bounty. And this is the window that you'll have. You'll have the total ratting contributions of every player who contributed over here. Obviously no one's contributed to this one, and you can share it. At that point, you will get a 30-second timer. The encounter surveillance system will tackle you, so even if you burn out of the bubble, you're not allowed to warp off. And then it will be shared out directly in raw ISK to everyone who contributed. If you take all, you'll get a 210-second timer, at the end of which tags will drop in a can that you have to haul out to a Caldari Navy station to convert to ISK. Anybody dropping an ESS in Brave Space is expected to share it, not take it, regardless of how little anyone else may have contributed. If there's a newbie and a Vexer that contributed 800,000 ISK, you're expected to share it. It also means that you don't have to haul tags all the way out to a station, you just get the ISK immediately. So once you're inside the bubble, and you've shared the bounty, you can scoop it to the cargo hold. That'll take the bubble down, so don't worry about burning back out. That's pretty much all there is to in-game usage of it. So in just a moment, we'll go over the math of why you should use it. Alright, as you can see, without an ESS deployed, you'll get 95% of a rat's bounty for killing it. Deploying an ESS allows you to access the extra 5%, but stores 20% of the new tick in the ESS itself. LP to ISK rates vary, but if you're willing to spend a bit of time on it, 1000 ISK per LP should be easily attainable, making the LP an increase in profits of between 15 and 20%, depending on the ESS's bonus. That bonus scales from 0 to 5% and is increased by ratting in the system. The bonus resets when the ESS is paid out, stolen from, or scooped. When an ESS is scooped, the ISK stored in it remains in limbo and can be accessed by deploying an ESS again. It does not have to be the same ESS that was originally deployed. Each increment of ramping bonus adds 1% to ISK bounties and 0.01 LP per 1000 ISK, up to 5 times. Bounty comparisons are on screen, as compared to standard ticks without an ESS deployed.
So that's about all there is to the ESS. If you have any additional questions, please feel free to reach out to me in-game or on Slack. I'll get back to you as soon as possible.